Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is my drinking buddy, Nate.
Is my dick in a box?
Yeah. Well, is it, Nate? We're gonna find out as we review this week. Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre. I didn't know how to even start with that. Where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. Unfortunately, our queen of unsuspecting victims is out this week. She unfortunately got a little sick, a little under the weather. So she's disappointed she will not be able to talk about this week's movie, which is called The Special. And this was a user request or listener request.
Listener request.
Jesus Christ. Like, this is what happens when you work at IT. Yeah. So this was from a 5-star request. So there you go. Look, we do them. It's not just lip service.
Like this, like the box. You know what? Whenever we get requests, have we ever gotten a request where we're like, "Oh, that I never heard of that, and that was really good"? I don't think that's ever happened.
No, people at this point are requesting shit that they're like, "Oh, hey, I want
on Amazon Prime.
I would, yeah. Can we just say no more Amazon Prime movies?
There's some good trash in there. I will say. Amazon Prime, like, for like trashy B/C level horror movies is just gold. That and like Tubi TV. Those are your really, like, you got like hundreds of horror movies just at your fingertips.
So this is something. So this is from Skylar who left the 5-star review. So once again, thank you, Skylar, for the 5-star review. Man, I don't really have a whole lot to say that isn't getting into this, although. Yeah, go check out The Special.
It never stops. This is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, this is, this is something else. Thank you for the 5-star review. Thank you for sending this movie. I'll say, look, easily, spoiler alert, better than Gretel and Hansel.
That seems
it's a stance
for
I'm
you,
taking.
That's like tripping over a single fiber like on the floor. Like, it's
Nate,
the lowest bar possible for you.
Once again, I would just like to point out that no one has taken me up with my offer to argue that that's a good movie, and it's because it's not. It's a trash film.
I'm waiting for the deluge of 5-star iTunes reviews, all requesting Gretel and Hansel. Please do that. Is there some sort of? Oh my goodness. I'm not a huge social media person, but maybe, just maybe, I can get that started and then end it. And then, like, I'm good on social media forever. If I can get a few people to request Gretel and Hansel, that would probably be it. So yeah. Well, so get on that, everybody. Get on that. And we'll see. I was checking iTunes just to see if there had been another one, and there has not for that. So
no. Yeah. So look, if it's easy to do so, remember, we do have a voicemail hotline. Give us a call. It's 346-246-3143. Call us. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it live on air. I would love to hear your takes. Skylar, if you're listening, I want to hear
Yeah, defend yourself.
Yeah.
defend yourself.
I'd like to know what we did personally to hurt you or to bring this.
Was this your cousin who made this movie? We would love to hear.
I have to assume. Yeah, I have to assume that Nate said something to upset you, and on his behalf, I apologize.
And also, I will say I will not apologize. And also, what I will say is, if you call in and leave a good message, and you put a movie in, preferably Gretel and Hansel or Human Centipede 1, 2, or 3.
No,
we will put that on the list also, for sure. I can say that. That's pretty great.
I'm gonna lock Nate. I'm gonna lock you out of updating our schedule if that ever happens. All right. Well, look, we've got a bunch to talk about. I think we've got stuff to talk about for damn sure. But before we do that, let's get into this week's debate question.
Bid our father, the Sea King, rise from the depths full foul in his fury. Black waves teeming with salt foam to smother this young mouth with pungent slime.
Fully fouled is for sure in this film. Look, Nate.
Yeah.
This movie is clearly about addiction and how it
addiction in a box.
Sure. Let me ask Nate, what is there something that you've been so deep into?
No. Please watch this movie so you get all the sexual jokes.
Look, we're gonna go through the spoilers.
We're gonna go through the spoilers like this guy went through this box.
But please watch this movie. It's an hour and a half of your life.
Amazon Prime Video, totally.
Look, it's an hour and a half of your life that you won't get back, but honestly, you were just going to fill that hour and a half with other bullshit. So you might as well just do this so you understand what we're talking about. No, Nate, is there something that you've just gotten so into the weeds on that maybe not like scary addiction, like, not like you had to have an intervention, but something where like you knew there was a problem and you needed to stop. You needed to pull yourself away from it.
Yeah, so right behind me is my Blu-ray collection that has grown enormously recently. So I'm not going to do that for a little while.
You took a look at the old bank statement and was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, I could take a little break. I could take a little break till like Black Friday on this. But yeah, I got a lot of good stuff. I got for Lisa right here. I got the ring. I got the ring collection. All the first 3 Japanese rings. Right there. How do you turn that down when it's on sale? I mean, come on. But I was looking at that. I'm like, yeah, it's been a little bit too much money. So
now, Nate,
nothing box orgasm level like this movie. Nothing even close to that. But that's a recent one.
When we go to Fantastic Fest this year, I need to like hold on to your wallet for you when we get to like the Blu-ray swap,
the vinegar syndrome section.
Yeah,
which is hold on, right here. No, it's right here. It's right here actually.
Yeah,
that's my little vinegar syndrome section. No, I think I got most everything I need. There are movies in the Vinegar Syndrome collection that are A, straight up just porn, and then B, they are, and then B, like Troll 2's, like there's like a Troll 6 or something. Like they have some just intensely bad movies on there.
They did have Ice Cream Man though.
Yeah, well, I already got that. I mean, that's a classic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably the most recent one. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most recent one for me is I'm really into like strategy games and stuff like that. And we were playing
brag.
This is a brag. We were playing so there's a game called Diplomacy. It's like Risk, but on like steroids. It's entirely like there's no dice rolling. It's very much a game of like making alliances, betraying people, really just like screwing over everyone. And we found an online version of this game we played during the pandemic, and you could just sit there and simulate years upon years of moves because it's every like season, in the game, and you would just simulate something like, and you'd be trying to like send messages back and forth. And be like, okay, here's what I think Germany might be doing in these next rounds, and here's how we might do it. And Nate, I spent hours a day running through military simulations and sending like notes to like unsuspecting victim Derek. He was one of the people that we were just like, all right, look, here's what Germany's doing, and I need you to take, France so that I can come in through Russia and do. It's just, it was getting to the point where like I'm sitting there and I was just like constantly checking for emails to know.
I actually was the same. I played in the course of like 2.5 months. I'm looking at the site right now. I played 25 games.
Yeah,
that is an inordinate. Each game takes days. It is, and we both got obsessed with that.
And you're sitting there like trying to like just like beg people like, you've got to help. Like, come on, don't do that. He's gonna screw you. He's gonna do this. You need to just help.
And it happens anyway, and you can't stop it.
Yeah, and oh yeah, and it's one of those games because there's no dice rolling. Like it's the highest of highs when you're winning, and it's the lowest of lows when you are just getting obliterated by. Look, like I'm notoriously bad at first person shooter games, so when I lose at those, it's not really all that frustrating because it's just like, yeah, I suck at this. It's I'm just not quick enough. I can always there's always something I can sort of blame it on, right? This game, because it takes so long and you're thinking through everything, when you screw up or when you get just backstabbed so hard, it's just
it's like the worst feeling possible.
Yeah, it's like someone came and just kicked your dog right in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I forgot about how obsessed we were with that like a year ago.
Yeah, it was
very obsessed.
There were several times where maybe a little Damien might have gotten into a little more mischief than he should have because I was not fully engaged in what was happening. So yes, yes, that was my box for a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. Yeah, but man, it did not feel as good as the box. That's the downside.
Yeah.
Only occasionally.
Only occasionally. For like the first few seasons, it did. So yeah, check out that game.
Backstabber.com. No E
and the stabber part.
Yeah.
Diplomacy, the actual like board game's been around since like the late 40s or 50s, I think.
It is a real good game. It is a little addicting.
If you like strategy games. I mean, if you don't,
my brain is like blocked out that short-lived addiction totally happened.
You sent me a link to some like strategy plan that was like 6 pages deep, and I was like, I can't. There's so much that can happen. Like, how are you?
No, you gotta open with the classic English Channel move, and then you go from there. God, what a ridiculous. All right, well, that was. Check out our mini spin-off diplomacy podcast that lasts like 4 episodes before we get too insane and have to stop it.
Before we stop,
because our wives are like, you need to look at our kids every time.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right. Wow. Well, look, let us know. I mean, fun addiction stories, not, sad addiction stories.
Yeah. I never,
if you have a sad addiction story,
yeah, I never stole from someone.
I hope that you're doing better. Yeah, and if you're not, get the help you need. Yes, that's the PSA, the more you know. But a fun addiction story, feel free to send us our way. You can let us know at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com, TXPodMassacre at Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Nate, look, when I saw that this was called The Special, I really thought this was like the Lego movie thing, because I think that's what the whole thing is, like, who's the special? And this has nothing to do with the Lego movie.
No. Well, there was one guy who was the special, so that's fair. He got specialed on.
Oh my God. All right. Well, look, we're going to get into this week's movie of the week. The Amazon Prime classic, The Special.
Cheated on you first, right?
So I have to cheat on her?
Please. We could try again. You're a good guy, and you're a great husband. And that is why I have the perfect thing for you. We're here for the special. Trust me, it is not what you think.
Oh, it's creepy.
just found the special.
Don't bring this one back. Tell him to not return.
Can you just tell me where to find Madame Zora?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Closed.
No, special.
You don't go in there for any reason.
Not when I'm here, not when I'm not here.
Does he seem like himself to you lately?
I could be with it again.
Your future is about to get rocked.
All right. So interesting that this
little
movie...
did he know he didn't want the special. Is that where you're going with this? What is happening? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So this movie, one of the associate producers was Felissa Rose, which I thought was interesting. If we could ever get Felissa on the show, I would love. I don't know. I mean, obviously want to talk to her about Sleepaway Camp, but I would love to understand more about her role in this movie. But look, this movie.
Wait, hold on. Who was she in this movie?
She wasn't anyone. She was an associate producer.
Oh, okay. So I'm like, what is that? Okay, because I have another.
I'm curious what she was kind of involved in as.
I can tell you actually.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Well, we'll get into it.
Yes.
Now look, this movie. I mean,
I'm the victim. I'm the victim. No, I feel like it was an attack on me. Is that fair? Or did you feel very attacked by this selection also?
No, I think it was definitely you.
I don't know why Skylar was coming for me specifically, but I'll say this. Guy's friend tells him, if your wife cheated on you, you got to have sex with the box. He does. He chooses the box over his wife, and mayhem happens. There's also some Eastern European curse chicanery in there as well. So that's about it. There's not a lot to this plot.
No.
Eastern European curse chicanery.
Yeah. Nate,
great band name.
What can you tell me and our fellow listeners about this movie?
The special came out October 13th, 2020. Might have missed it right in the middle of the pandemic. It's from the director of Death House and Camp Dread. Have you seen either of those, Mitch? No, you haven't. And get away. And on the bottom,
sure I might have. I doubt it.
It says Fatal Attraction meets The Blob.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
fair.
But I would say this: it's 100th of Fatal Attraction meets 100th of The Blob, because The Blob is tiny in this movie. We're not gonna do a spoiler section on this, so we're just gonna get right into it.
Yeah, that's. I don't even know how you could talk this movie without kind of spoiling anything.
There are 3 taglines for this. The third one is one of the greatest taglines of all time. It is worth it alone for just this. All right. So the first tagline, this is not a love story. Accurate.
I like it.
Second tagline, would you like the special? Third tagline, see it with someone you hate.
I kind of agree with that last one. One of the user reviews, Nate,
with someone you hate. That's the tagline for one of the taglines for the movie. Unbelievable. First of all, I love it, but unbelievable that occurred.
My favorite is there's a user review. I'm looking at IMDb's page right now. There's a user review. It said it's not your average boy meets box story. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh Christ. All right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
This is more of a boxing movie than Creed. There was so much box in it. It was bad. The director of this is B. Harrison Smith of Camp Dread fame. He did a movie called Camp Dread. He did in 2014. It featured this same guy Davey Raffaelli. But he also got like bigger people in these initial movies, and we'll go over them. He got Eric Roberts in that one, Danielle Harris, and Felissa Rose. Then the next year it came out ZK, which means Zombie Killers, Elephant's Graveyard, which had Billy Zane, Dee Wallace of E.T. and The Hills Have Eyes fame, Misha Barton from the OC. That's right. We got OC. And Felissa Rose also. And the same Davey Raffaelli guy. Then he did another movie called Garlic and Gunpowder that had Vivica A. Fox, Michael Madsen, basically a Kill Bill sequel at that point. And also had Felissa Rose in it.
Okay.
But the main heavy hitter, I believe, in all of this is that got every cameo in the history of Earth is Death House 2017. Bill Moseley, Tony Todd, Adrienne Barbeau, Kane Hodder, Gunnar Hansen, Dee Wallace, Barbara Crampton, Michael Berryman. You got the main guy from Jason. You got the main guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You got the main guy from Hills Have Eyes. And then you got Barbara Crampton, Dee Wallace, Adrienne Barbeau, basically anything in the 80s in a horror or sci-fi movie. You got Crush. You got Tony Todd, Bill Moseley. I mean, and then obviously, Felissa Rose is always in those. It's, crazy. You got a lot of people. Then after that movie, that stopped. So now we got the special, and it's just Davey Raffaelli from the other movies. He has also been. He has the next movie. What the next movie is going to be in? It's called Where the Scary Things Are. So there's that. The B. Harrison Smith is doing a movie just called Monkey Island, where it's deadly monkeys, which actually kind of has me excited for maybe a future.
Wasn't that a video game? Or
no, that's totally different. Those are like nice monkeys. This is like death monkeys, which I'm actually kind of excited about.
I'm now less excited.
Yeah, so this Davey Raffaelli guy, the main guy here, Jerry, he was in a short film called Thanksgiving, and I was like, wait, what? The Eli Roth one? No, it's from 2016, unfortunately. So he hasn't been in very many movies that are not from this guy. Okay, yeah. Other than he was in a couple like TV show episodes, but not many. So basically, this is this guy. He is the Johnny Depp to B. Harrison Smith's Tim Burton.
Okay.
That's kind of what's happening here. His friend Dave Sheridan, in this film, he's in so many fucking movies, including last year's Sky Sharks, which we have not gotten into quite yet. Also in an episode of Joe Bob's Haunted Drive-In as Dr. Zomberger. Yeah, he was Mike, his friend. He's actually been in some movies. He was in Victor Crowley, 50 Shades of Black, the 50 Shades of Grey spinoff movie with Marlon Wayans. In case you were wondering.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, he was in that. Yeah, he was in that. He was actually in the original Scary Movie. He was in the original movie Bubble Boy with Jake Gyllenhaal. And he was Officer Ray Dobson in The Devil's Rejects. We have an actual person in our midst here. He is in a lot of movies in post-production. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 3 filming and then 6 pre-production. This guy is in a lot of movies. So there's that. He's the character O-Face, O''Face, which I'm assuming is an Irish character, in the TV series Happy Slashers, which is an animated movie about slashers. That is featuring Diana Prince and Felissa Rose. Diana Prince, obviously from the Last Drive-In.
Yep. And
Felissa Rose is in that one as well. So yeah, that guy's actually in stuff. So those are the main 2 people. I went on Amazon Prime, and wanted to look at people who watched this movie. What other movies did they watch? Just for a fun one for this one.
Can I guess?
Sure.
I'm going to say Leprechaun.
There's no Leprechauns.
Oh, okay.
So sorry.
I think sorry. Okay. So the Blah was because the problem is only Amazon Prime movie. It's not going to be just any movie. Was the Blob one of them?
No.
Batting 1,000.
There's one called Call Girl of Cthulhu.
No, never mind. You know what? I can just pass on this game. If that's one of them, I'm clearly not even going to be anywhere near the ballpark on this one.
The cast and crew, one of them was in the same year. It was in a movie called Booze, Broads, and Blackjack. It's all the three B's. Zombie pirates. Land Shark. There's a movie called Land Shark that is 1 star that came out this year. You got a movie that came out last year. It's just called Blind. And the tagline is "What you can't see can kill you." Maybe that's the next movie we do. That sounds amazing. Got to purchase that one, but it seems like it's worth it. There's a movie called Paranormal Calamity that came out in 2020. That is just the worst ripoff cover I've ever seen. With I think it looks like a person who's possessed or a zombie jumping onto a bed, like in that same camera angle from the first movie, but someone's like hilariously been photoshopped jumping onto a bed. So that looks terrible. And some people who watched this also watched Climax, Neon Demon, and Starry Eyes. So some people actually did watch actual movies who watched this as well. There's no trivia for this movie, shockingly. Shockingly? I don't know about that. There's no trivia for this. And the only question on IMDb was, is this based on a book? And it's actually, the screenplay came first. There is a novella being written, though, based on the original screenplay. So you can actually get the novella novelization version of this movie on Amazon. So Amazon's really covering all the bases digitally and also probably digitally. No, it's actually going to be paperback as well. So you can get the special in paperback form if you want. So Amazon's got you covered both ways.
Sorry, I'm distracted by a movie called Call Girl of Cthulhu.
It came out this year.
Sure. Why don't we get those? Well, you know, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch that.
The only movie the one that Lisa's not on, then the Call Girl of Cthulhu comes in.
That's right. I have no words.
Great. I'm loving this. Oh, this is awesome. Anyway, all right. So Mitch, so we're not doing a spoiler section for this movie because it does not deserve it. Initial thoughts. What are you thinking about this one?
What do I think about this? You know, I'll be honest. This actually picked up for me in the second half. Because this first half of this film was a doozy.
It was. It really was.
I didn't know. I knew where they were kind of going. I would say this movie's not super shocking in terms of like the twist ending or anything. Like, there's nothing like that to me. But I will say, like, the second half kind of redeemed itself. I kind of think this would have worked almost a little better, almost as a short, or at least just a shorter film. You know, I think. Oh,
this is like a 25-minute short would have been amazing.
Yeah, I agreed. Because I think, you know, so this movie devolves into a bit of body horror type stuff, which I think is.
Which I loved.
Yeah, that stuff was great. I think there's some things that have this same sort of general message and I wouldn't say plot, but overall kind of similar story that does this a little bit better. That said, yeah, I think the first half it's just kind of all right. Dude's banging a box. Like it was just I don't know. Had this movie been a short, I would have I could have easily seen this as something we would have seen at like Fantastic Fest. Or one of these like kind of genre sort of film festivals.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the second half much stronger than the first.
I thought this. Okay, like I was giving a lot of crap, but I thought this was actually halfway decent.
Yeah,
I thought it was a halfway decent movie. This is the best addiction movie I've seen since Timothée Chalamet in Beautiful Boy. Let me just say that. You didn't think you get a Beautiful Boy reference with the special, but here we are. It actually shows the guy's addiction pretty well. As a central plot point. The best friend was skeezy but kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of like skeezy. These two guys were like the wolf cubs of Wall Street.
I like it.
Right? Yeah. Like his friend is like the douchey business guy. He's basically Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street, but then the guy is going to the box for the special so often. He's like Matthew McConaughey also, talking about masturbating like 100 times a day or whatever. So they're both Matthew McConaughey from Wolf of Wall Street. His relationship with his wife, at first I thought it was his girlfriend, then I thought it was his wife, and then I was like, oh, she for sure cheated on him. And then I was like, wait, did she cheat on him? I'm not even sure anymore. Do we ever get a definitive answer on if she cheated or not?
She didn't.
Oh, she didn't.
No. See, okay, they had said that the texts were to the snowblower salesman.
Yeah. But I thought he thought that she was sleeping with the snowblower salesman.
Yeah, but I don't believe that
they were.
I think this was all in his head.
Now this is This is where we get into semantics here. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, Mitch. And again, Lisa's not here, so you're totally
oh, great. Yeah, she's not here. Not that we're recording this conversation.
Now, she's not going to listen to it.
She's not going to listen.
She's not going to listen to this. Okay, you suspect your wife is cheating on you. Okay.
I'm not fucking a box. Is that the
well? No, but this is my question.
All right.
This is my question. And later on, she confronts him. She's like, "So you're going off in like working long hours. Like, are you cheating on me?" And he's like, "No." And my question is, if you and let's describe what this box is. This box it's a box that has a hole in it. On the front. On the front. Okay.
Sorry. let's describe this fuck box. It's a box with a hole in it. And I described
it. But hold on a second. Hold on a second, because it's made of. Hold on. I want to describe this box. But I think it says this is a put it in here with an arrow into the hole, and it's a wooden box.
This movie is unintentionally the funniest fucking film I've watched in some time. It is unintentionally hilarious.
Right? Like it's like I think it says put it in here with like an arrow that goes boop, like right to the hole, like just in case you weren't sure. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the box. I have to just clarify that for whoever has not paused and gone to watch this amazing, now I'm gonna call it just amazing movie now. Anyway, so he goes in to Madame Zora's. That's a very, very memorable name. I didn't have to look that up or anything. Madame Zora's place. It's a brothel, and the other guy goes and pays some people to have sex with him, no problem. But he's like, well, I don't want to do that because I don't want to cheat. But then he, gets, oral sex from a special box. Is that cheating to you, Mitch? Now, sorry, that was a really long way to get to my initial question.
Oh, the initial question is
does he lie to his wife later? He says, are you cheating on me?
Is banging a box cheating?
And let's be fair, the box apparently gives you like the best pleasure you've ever had ever.
Yeah, in this case,
that's the allure.
In this case, I'm going to say yes, because there is another person or thing involved, whatever's in this box. It's not just like a fleshlight and you're just like going to town with yourself. There's clearly a something.
There's external forces.
And I think anything, I would say this, like anything that I mean, here's Mitch's view for everyone who clearly tuned into the podcast to hear my thoughts on sex and relationships. Masturbation is really only cheating to me if you're doing it in like as opposed to, right? Like when you're just like, I don't want to be with this person, I want to do this other thing. That's when it's kind of cheating, right? Because that's more of an emotional attachment kind of thing to it. You understand what I'm saying? Or you're making this weird face.
I don't think I agree with this, Dr. Mitch, but
look, I'm just saying, like,
this is going so well. I love this.
Well, no, I just, my point is being like, I don't think like if this were just like some random inanimate box, which we'll obviously get into what's in the box. What's in the box? We'll get into that.
What's in the box?
We'll get into that.
This is just as bad and very similar. Holy shit.
My point is like
the ending.
Yeah, right. My point is if this were just like a fleshlight kind of deal and it was an inanimate object sort of thing, there's clearly something going on with this box.
There's an external force.
And he's very clearly like not like making excuses to be with the box and not his wife. That's where it becomes cheating.
Sure. Okay. I think I would agree with you on that point for sure.
That's kind of what I meant. Yeah. Like when you're
this guy just like keeps wanting to go to the box. Like he's addicted to getting orgasms from putting his junk in this wooden box. It is quite a premise. It is actually, you know what? Now that I say that, I think I'm glad that this was recommended because this is what a setup this is really. I think The Fatal Attraction Meets the Blob got me thinking about a different movie.
Yeah.
And this is not that movie, but this is an actually interesting premise for a different movie. And this movie, we had to say, this is a low budget film. I mean,
even being a low budget film, it's when it gets good. I thought
so it's a low budget film, but when they spent their money, it was worth it toward the end. Right? Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. Where they invested made a lot of sense.
Yes, it did. Yeah. So there's literally 2 montages of people making boxes in this movie, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
There's two box making montages. But yeah, that's the premise. It's so we both agree he's cheating on his wife with a supernatural orgasm box. Okay. So then when we really start getting going, he comes back. He's like, I gotta find where this box is. And they told him not to come back because he like passed out. He's like, I guess he's more susceptible to the box, whatever that means. Anyway, long story short, he becomes so addicted he just kills the lady to steal the box. He just kills an old Eastern European lady to get the box.
Yeah.
The kills in this movie were, I would say, not great. Would you agree on that, Mitch?
Not great. Yeah.
Kind of weakly stepped on her neck, like very weakly, and then really weakly choked out his wife.
What I think I do appreciate with this is at least for all like there's a lot of like choking type of deaths, and at least they had at least a little bit of a realism to them in terms of that they lingered on them so long, right? So it felt like it wasn't just like a very obvious like this isn't how choking works, right?
So I agree with you, but I also massively disagree with you because one of the kills is he chokes his best friend with the plastic bag, and those bags always have holes in them. So that was actually really unrealistic.
Maybe he clearly.
Have you ever got like a plastic bag from like a grocery store and like, oh yeah, but he's just for like trash something, and it has a hole in it 95% of the time.
Look, man, he shops at the finest
high quality
bags.
Okay, well that makes sense then. But yeah, I mean, there's a few kills in this.
I feel like he'd have less issues if he bagged it up to begin with, but
that he doesn't get
talking about his penis.
He doesn't get that special. He doesn't get that special sensation. This is the most sex jokes we'll ever.
How did you enjoy? Sorry, I want to talk about this guy's the acting in this, but how did you enjoy that scene where he goes to the doctor and the doctor's just like the doctor? This is the kind of doctor I appreciate.
He starts developing a rash all over himself because he's having sex with the box so much. It's clearly supernatural in nature and affecting
unprotected
him
sex with a box.
Yeah. Can you imagine being this director and being like, all right, film it again. Have sex with the box
and
film it again.
And we're banging.
Film it again.
And
you're
banging.
On the bed and you're standing up.
I love the creativity.
The box everywhere.
I love the creativity because not only did it just, because he was like a one pump chump for like the first 30 minutes of this movie, and then later he has
never heard that phrase ever.
What? Never pump chump? Yeah, one pump chump.
No. That is not a thing. Is this a drinking episode and no one told me? What's happening right now?
Nate, I was crying for most of this film. I was laughing so hard. And look, this
guy's O-face is solid. This guy really can act.
I don't know if he's overacting or what, but that is something else to watch this dude.
Do you think he did a lot of preparation for the role?
He is just. Had he just started flexing
Christian Bale
in American Psycho.
Psycho.
It would have fit in perfectly. Holy shit! Oh, and then when he's like, there is some weird, cringy acting in this. And what's weird about this character is they start you off making you feel sorry for him because he's his wife's cheating on him, and his buddy's trying to cheer him up let me go take you to a place, right? And all that. And then immediately after, this dude is instantly a dick. I think the problem I have with some of the messaging in this movie is that the main dude just becomes a complete asshole immediately. Yeah. There's no descent where he's changing his behavior. No, he was just a complete douche the whole time.
It was kind of fast. I agree. He really fell hook, line, and sinker for it,
and that's fine.
Which can happen.
Him having to track down where it is and all that. But I think some of the interactions was. Yeah, it was just,
he did drugs for the first time and then wanted all the drugs instantly. It was a 0 to 60.
It would have been better to me had he just been at the beginning where he's oh, she cheated on you. It's and he was the one being fuck it, let's just go to a strip club. And his friend should have been I'll do you one better, man. I know I'm gonna take you one better than a strip club. No, I don't want to bang anyone. I just want to, all that. I think had they just started him being a dick, it would have maybe worked a little bit better.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. He starts. He's the nice guy, but then he's putting his foot on an old Eastern European lady's neck within 20 some minutes of the movie. So it was pretty fast. That is true. He ends up killing a random lady who has a cursed sex box, his own wife, and his best friend. So there's that. That's the real special. The special is our friends and family we murdered along the way. Then he starts getting the rash. So the movie then shifts more. This was more like The Blob meets The Fly. If I had to pick another Fatal Attraction, I don't know. The Fatal Attraction part really didn't make any sense on the movie poster. It turns into The Fly. He starts getting a rash, goes to the doctor. This is the most inattentive doctor of all time. This is
I think the Fatal Attraction is just the cheating part. Affair.
Yeah, maybe. But
that's not quite.
It should be the sex blob meets the
sex
rash fly.
The sex box didn't boil his pet bunny. So
yes. Yeah, it's the sex blob meets the venereal.
Sorry, that sounds like one of those old Wolfman meets Dracula.
Yeah, exactly. The sex blob versus the VD fly. Who's gonna win? They both win. This
you win as the viewer of whatever.
You win. This guy loses. Yeah. Anyway, so then it's he gives the so So then there's a sex box, okay? And he keeps putting his junk in.
Wait, well, I like how you act like, so then anyway, there's the sex box has been there since the beginning.
Yeah, that's there.
The sex
so
box.
now he wants to take it on the road. Okay, he's like, he puts this sex box up in a motel, hotel. I would just call it a death trap. I don't know what kind of like skeezy building this is, like the skeeziest building I've ever seen.
Well, it's an hourly building. That's,
yeah. Which means you can probably, I was going to make a joke about using it like 30 times in 1 hour from this guy. But anyway, he has the box stashed in like that kind of a shady place. And just keeps going back. He's like, look, this is hurting me. I need to like function a little bit better. So I'm going to take all the goo juice from inside the box and put it in like a small Purell bottle and just take it on the road with me. That's when it was like, oh, this, like, you're like, it's like you want to, like, it's like the equivalent, like you want to smoke cigarettes so bad, like you're grabbing them from like
you're using the patch while you're smoking.
Exactly. Like it is bad. Like you are really going to some bad places. Yeah. So then that goes crazy. Then he has sex with his wife, which is real weird. And then like it feels good for her then. And then he gets really misogynistic after this happens. I'm not sure why that happens.
Oh, and it causes a miscarriage. Let's not.
And then it causes a miscarriage. And then he doesn't care about it. He becomes a jerk, maybe a little fast or a little harshly. But then he's like, well, I don't feel good, which makes sense because there's a rash over 80% of your body at that point. Because it keeps spreading because he can't stop having sex with the box. And then you want to walk through this ending, Mitch. So the ending really turns into straight up body horror from some random Russian bouncer guy.
Yeah. So okay, so he's murdered Lisa because Lisa has tracked him down to the hotel.
Who are we talking about?
The wife.
Right. Well, she's not here in this episode, so now I'm kind of worried a little bit.
Hey, don't worry about it. Ignore the box behind me in the background.
Yeah, there's a lot of boxes behind me.
No, I got over it once the PS5 came in. I got over all that. But no, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers.
Did you watch this on the PS5? That'd be perfect, actually.
I did, actually.
Yes.
Anyway, so so like right after I got done playing Resident Evil Village, just turned on this movie. just to complete the effect. No, so he kills Lisa when she tracks him there and accuses him of cheating again. And at this point he has I don't know how best to describe it. He's sprung the thing out of the box, and it's just like you first see it, and it's this big gooey blob, like it's just a big orb. I've got a lot of questions, biology questions, among other things, but that's fine. We don't need to get into that. I don't understand the mechanics, but that's fine. So then his friend comes over. He murders the friend because the friend dumbly starts trying to dial 911 when he confesses that he killed Lisa to her. Which dumb. Wait till you get outside the house. You know?
Sure.
Like Nate, if you tell me that you've murdered everyone you know, I'm gonna be like, oh well, I'll help you, bud. Hey, let me just go to my car real quick.
No,
I'm just gonna go grab the bags of lime I carry around in the trunk, and we'll take care of this, buddy. I'll be right back. And that's,
you know what I was thinking.
You don't just turn your back to the person that just said he murdered people you know and be like, oh really? 911.
Yeah, that was pretty egregious. I was thinking if I was that the douchey friend guy, Mike, I would be like, if you thought your wife cheated on you, so if that happened to you, Mitch, if you thought Lisa was doing that, you came to me, I'd be like, I don't know, no strip club, no weird supernatural cursed sex box. I would if it was me, I'd be like, Mitch, I'm gonna help you write that Taylor Swift revenge album. That's where my mind would go. All right, Mitch, I'll come over. We'll go to the studio. That would be the way I would respond to that. Right. And I'd bring the old granddad. And then I just come in with old granddad and like a notepad for lyrics. That would be it. First song on the album, You Put Me in a Box. And then we just go from there.
Oh, that has a lot of weird connotations.
It really does. So anyway,
look, the blob thing, I don't quite understand what has happened. I can't.
I don't understand what happened.
I think he's banged it to death. Like it is just molded underneath.
Like it blobbed to get, but it's like still alive.
But it's just it's like melted all the way
blobbed.
Down.
Yeah. But he's like kissing it. He's kissing it and like he still has sex with it. Also.
Oh, I mean, it ain't dead, Nate.
Oh, yeah. It's like I gotta describe it. You can see it on YouTube. It's like a big, like maybe like a basketball size, roughly. It's a little flatter.
It starts getting smaller and starts turning darker.
Yeah,
as it's clearly like fading out outside the box. I'm assuming the box kept it more or less alive. I don't know. It's hard to tell if this is like a time thing. Like
this is an ambiguous curse. But as that thing's getting smaller, he's getting more rashy. Like you're like a lot of eczema cream. Like
I got really confused at the beginning. You heard the trailer. They let him do the special, and then they're being like, "Don't ever bring him back." It's like
I think it reacts
really worried about
differently. I think it reacts to other people differently. Yeah,
maybe. Any case, so he's like full on, like full bodied boils and shit. His bang bean bag thing is all melty, and he goes back and he goes to the place where he like murdered the lady. This is a very weird thing. He just shows up and just like, hey, my bad, bro, but can you fix this?
Like I killed like probably your only family.
And admittedly,
in the world.
I'm actually joking. At this point, it actually makes a lot of sense because he's obviously in like the depths of his like addiction, right? So this is actually part not as funny as some of the other stuff where the first half of this movie is just hysterical. Second half is actually like it gets gruesome. I mean, this is some of the better body horror type of effects I've seen because he literally as the Russian guy kind of rocks off, the Russian guy goes off to make a new box. And he is like,
he knows he's in like, so he becomes full late Jeff Goldblum fly. And it is kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's like 30 seconds of the movie, but it shows his like
more than 30 seconds. It's
maybe a little longer.
Good. No, but it's good. I mean,
shows the stages, full on rash. And then we really get into,
and then he sets the box down and the bouncer guy like literally just separates his head.
Cause he's so like deformed and like melty.
Yeah. And he puts his head in the box. It is just like 7. Spoiler alert.
It is 7. Put that head in a box.
What's in the box?
It's a head. It's always a head. But it's like a cursed body horror sex head. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Look, the moral of the story is, Nate, is that if you go to a glory hole, you gotta
you get the horns. You
gotta put in the time on both sides is all I'm saying. Like you can't just go and not expect.
I don't know what
you can't just go and not expect to also have to give.
Please respond to Mitch's sentence he just said. TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com. Let it come in. What was the phone number again? Jesus Christ.
Don't worry about that.
Call in 346-246-3143. Let us know your thoughts about Mitch mentioning glory holes on the podcast.
Oh, like that's weird. That when we watched a movie about a guy banging a box for an hour and a half and I mentioned glory holes and I'm the weird one.
Look, I didn't mention it. It was just one of us.
Nate, you've heard me mention glory holes and one pump chump in this episode. I think this is
I think that's the name of the episode.
Yes. This movie is incredible.
This movie is incredible.
Wow. Oh my God.
Anyway, so then he's dead. The cycle continues. The special is some sort of morphed
Now there's a beeline.
Yeah, and there's still sentient. I don't know what's happening. Oof. It's kind of ambiguous.
Oh man, what if he is just sentient and then this thing just like pops into the box and you're like, oh well, that's
and then so then there's like a cop who's like been half-heartedly like figuring out why that old lady was murdered, and then he goes in. I mean, admittedly, this is a special.
This is a shitty fate, right? Like this is a terrible fate.
It's a shitty fate. If you're sentient, like if you know what's happening.
Which I mean, admittedly, this guy was a total asshole. So it couldn't have happened. Yeah. Couldn't have happened to a worse person. But I mean, it's still like Jesus.
It's very bad. Yeah, it was very bad. Yeah.
And then so there's this beeline of this cop who's got like a million different anecdotes and a story. He says he's investigating things. Right? He's like, oh, Nate, you ever had a food stuck in your tooth? Oh, it's like, was that part of his cop training, like to learn all these like random phrases to? I don't know. Anyway, implication is the cop is about to get him the special, and
but apparently you can have the special like the friend Mike did, and be fine.
No, that's what I wonder. I don't know. Does the box keep him alive for a while, or is it like?
Damn, that's actually like brutal. If they're sentient the whole time, that actually is terrible. Oof, didn't even think about it that. And then you like slowly melt into a living blob thing that then like dies as like your life force of the life force of the curse goes in the rash and the other person. That's actually pretty brutal. The premise of this movie I think is astounding. It kind of just stretched it out a little, maybe too long.
Now, Nate,
this could have been a 70-minute kind of like a host.
Yeah.
And Nate, really been a little bit better.
When are you going to show your mom this movie?
She's coming to visit this weekend. I don't think it's gonna.
There you go. We'll let everyone know what Nate's mom thinks about this one.
I got some other terrible movies to show her for sure. So yeah, I'll save this one.
I thought about. So I thought about trying to get another guest in at the last minute when Lisa kind of started feeling bad yesterday, but I didn't because it's how do you pitch this movie to someone? Because we finding a guest on this show is harder than you might think because most people who don't like horror movies, you have to give them enough to like make the movie interesting so that they'll want to do it. You can't just be like, oh, it's great, you should watch it. What's it about? Don't worry about that. Just
sex bots.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this movie. Sex box. One pump chump. Glory hole. Here we are. With that said, let's get into the final cut.
Final cut.
Final pump.
It sounds like the first and the last.
Oh.
This actor really deserves a lot of credit. Really did a lot of work on this one. A lot of takes.
Oh, Jesus.
I hope it was a one take jump too.
I think it was when he started when they started doing the camera angle. Like for the first half of the movie, the camera angle is just like his face. So you don't ever really like see him like doing anything. I mean, you never really see him doing anything for the most part. But then later, like he's just full grabbing the box and just go into it. It's like, holy shit.
You do see some breasts from his wife in this one.
Like Nate, in our normal work jobs, I was in a training where I had to like role play like a business interaction, and there is no way I even at a low stakes sort of meeting, I couldn't really commit to that character. I don't know anyone that could have been like, oh, so I need to really be giving it to this box, huh? Like and really take it to heart.
Is this good or more?
Do you have any specific notes for me? Kudos to this guy, man, because that's something else.
Okay, so this movie was a 4.9 on IMDb with fairly minimal reviews. It's only 652 reviews.
Nate, would you like to go first?
Moment. No, I would like to have you go first.
Thank
you for asking.
You're welcome. So I do think this movie went a little bit long. I think there was a lot of stuff that was like, it was in there. I get what was in there, but I don't think that it landed as well. And I'm like the stuff with the wife. I think they could have done that a little differently. I mean,
yes, I agree.
I honestly think they could have just like the wife could have if they were gonna like shorten this. The wife didn't even need to be there. The wife could have cheated. That really had no bearing on this. I mean, the whole wife storyline was just to be like, oh, he cheated when he didn't need to because she didn't really cheat on him, type of thing. And it was kind of like, okay.
Well, you don't figure it out until she's already dead, which was kind of cool.
I don't know.
It was a little cool. Yeah.
It was a line that's like fine, but it didn't land as well as it could have. I really think this could have worked as like a kind of a longer short, if that makes sense. This movie, I think some of the stuff that this movie does is really good. The body horror stuff is excellent. Like I said, I think there are some movies that do very similar sort of story, like or have similar kind of stories. One that came to mind when I was watching was a movie called The Untamed. Are you familiar with that one, Nate?
No, I'm not.
It's a Mexican horror film where there is a like alien creature that it's kind of a similar thing. It's really dealing with kind of it's less about addiction and more about like relationships and hidden desires and stuff like that. But it's like this alien that's like banging these people. Like tentacles and all that. It's anyone who likes hentais, there you go. But knock yourself out. The point being,
Mitch, I have learned so much about you today. This is
not about me. It's just shit I know about. I don't go looking this stuff up. I'm just aware. I've been on. Hey Nate, I've been on Reddit. That's what you're learning about me. Not 18. You know what?
Which subreddits? That is.
Shit. I'll be editing this episode so much tonight. No. So I mean, I think there's some probably better executed, like more traditional horror movies. But this, to me, again, this is an indie film. I thought it was really good. That last half is just awesome because that first half I was just not really down with it. I was laughing so much, and it really felt like we were going into like Troll 2 territory, where I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like it absolutely is a movie that you should get drinks with and watch with people, especially
I wish I would have had some drinks.
Oh yeah. I'm absolutely
right now.
I'm absolutely making all of our friends watch this later. And I think for that reason, I'm going to give this movie. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Oh my god!
6 out of 10.
No, 6. I'm looking at the sheet right now. Sorry. Give me the official side. I can't.
I don't even know what to give it. 6 out of 10. Heads
Dark
in the box.
Circles.
Heads in the box.
Oh, heads in the box. This movie, according to Mitch, is twice as good as The Conjuring 3, and
I stand by that.
And I could not agree with you more. I thought it was good. So yeah, this movie. The premise is, I would say, very good.
Yeah, it's a unique story for sure.
The blob part and the body horror part at the end are, I would say, very good. But there's a lot of sketchiness in the middle. Some of the acting is yikes town on this one. The lead, I'm appreciating the lead more and more as we're talking about this. I mean, how many takes did he have to fake having sex with the box? And was he method acting? Would he take the box home with him? Like what? Now I'm very intrigued.
You got to deal with You got to deal with splinters. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know, it seemed pretty finely sanded.
I'm just saying those, but it has hard edges and are digging into his thighs. I'm guessing when he's like holding it and just going to town.
Yeah, the logistics of that are challenging. So that's. Mitch is very concerned about the logistics of that.
I would just say I want to make sure these actors.
If I made a box, I'd make it skinnier, right? I mean, that's what everyone would think about. So with that being said, I think this movie is also twice as good as The Conjuring 3. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 baby blobs.
I like it.
There's a little baby blob. It's
baby
pulsing.
blobs, do 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 do. Baby blobs, do 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 do. Baby blobs. Jerry's banging them. Do 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 do. Jerry's banging it. Do 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 do.
Yeah, I hope we get a copyright claim on that. I'm hoping we get a copyright claim. But yeah, no, 4 out of 10. Look, it's an independent film that was made for not much money, and with what you get monetarily, I think it did a good job. I don't know how much better this could have been. Maybe a little hard. Maybe 4 is a little harsh. But a 6, wow, that's amazing. But yeah, I will recommend this. It's on Prime. Everyone can see it. Everyone should watch it.
It is, to me. I mean, it is better than meh, right? Like 5 is like,
yes,
meh.
It's intriguing. This is an intriguing film. For sure. Yeah.
The fact that I want to watch, I will happily watch this movie again with other people is an indicator that
I would
it's
not
on
have
the
expected
upper.
that. I would not have expected
look,
that.
I mean, truthfully, if you could, this is a tale of two halves here. The first half of this movie, I would have given a 3. Right? Like,
okay.
Yeah. Like it's the second half pulls some heavy weight in terms of like making this movie
really where
awesome.
It comes together. I agree.
Yeah. So understand that, like, because I don't want people to hear like Mitch said there was 6. And they get through like the first 30 minutes. They're like, is Mitch on crack?
We have the same listeners. We have the same question.
Does Mitch have an addiction we need to worry about? Yes, it's 2 terrible movies like that. Terribly awesome movies. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so sleep deprived.
Awesome.
Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us and all of Mitch's glory hole comments at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre on Facebook and Instagram. Give a 5-star review and just say, I want to hear more of Mitch talking about glory holes. Were there any glory holes in Gretel and Hansel? We'll only find out if we watch the movie. Get a 5-star review in on that. I guess Human Centipede is kind of like a forced glory hole. I don't even know.
What are you saying? None of the words you were saying. My God, I don't even know.
So anyway,
did you just say Human Centipede's a forced glory hole? Oh, Jesus.
So anyway,
anyway,
there's that. But yeah, give us 5-star reviews. Call us on our phone line one more time. It is 346-246-3143. Let us know your opinions on Mitch. I think we need to have more episodes without Lisa because Mitch is just Mitch is untamed in this one. He is untamed and everything is special. So I'm all on board for this. Wow. Okay. That was an episode.
Yeah.
Next month we'll have less glory hole talk. I can't promise that.
I can't. Yeah. Don't.
I can't promise that. But we have fun some vacation staycation type horror movies that'll be coming up in the next couple months. So
vacation.
Keep on the lookout.
I ever wanted.
Yeah.
What?
The box can't get away.
Oh my God. Yeah. Man, that poor
box. Now you're empathizing with the cursed box.
Well, do we know that the thing that was in the box was an asshole? Because I mean, that it could have just been
Well, it's clearly having sex with the box enough in the past that it was.
Well, sure just because it has sex with a box doesn't make it a bad person, Nate.
I think the box makes you a bad person.
Murdering your wife and best friend.
It curses you, which means bad things are going to happen to you and the people around you.
Look, it's gypsies.
Look, we've already reviewed the movie.
It's gypsies, man. I don't know what.
Wow. Now the Roma community is going to come after us. Thanks for that.
I know. I need to. Look.
No, thank you on the thinner. I don't need that in my life.
The thinner, the drag me to hell one's the one Lisa's more worried about. Anyway, this is already going off the rails. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.